Welcome back students to the last chapter, Semiconductor Electronics. In the first module, let us discuss about energy bands, classification of conductors, insulators and semiconductors, and the types of semiconductors. We have already studied that a conductor will have extremely low resistance and it conducts with very little voltage applied. An insulator has extremely high resistance and conducts only when an extremely high voltage is applied. A semiconductor is something whose resistance falls about midway between a conductor and an insulator, and it limits the current at a given voltage. So, the electronic materials are mainly classified as conductors, insulators and semiconductors. Examples for conductors are mainly metals: copper, silver, gold, aluminium and nickel. Examples for insulators are glass, ceramic, plastics and wood. For semiconductors, examples are carbon, silicon and germanium. The resistivity of insulators will be less than 10 raised to 5. Whereas for conductors, it is greater than 10 raised to minus 3. For semiconductors, the resistivity falls between 10 raised to minus 3 and 10 raised to 5 ohm centimeter. Now let us discuss about the concepts of valence band, conduction band and energy gap. Valence band is basically defined as the energy band that comprises of valence electrons present in the outermost shell of an atomic structure. These valence electrons, when provided with sufficient energy, get changed into free electrons and moves to conduction band, thereby causing conductivity. A conduction band is defined as that energy band that consists of free electrons that are responsible for conduction. Energy bands means the series of energy levels that electrons possess. Forbidden energy gap EG is the difference between the energy levels of the conduction band and the valence band. So, the energy band diagram is drawn like this, with the energy level rising along the y-axis, and we have valence band at the bottom, conduction band at the top, and forbidden energy gap in between the valence band and the conduction band. Now let us differentiate insulators, conductors and semiconductors on the basis of energy bands. In the case of insulators, the energy band gap between the valence band and conduction band is very high. That is, it will be greater than 3 electron volt. In the case of conductors, the valence band and conduction band overlap, or the distance between valence band and conduction band will be very low. In the case of semiconductors, there is a small band gap between valence band and conduction band. Now let us discuss in brief about a semiconductor. A semiconductor material is one whose electrical properties lie in between those of insulators and good conductors. In terms of energy bands, semiconductors can be defined as those materials which have almost an empty conduction band and almost filled valence band with a very narrow energy gap of the order of 0.1 electron volt to 1 electron volt. Now let us go into detail about the classification of semiconductors. On the basis of their composition, semiconductors are mainly divided into two: elemental semiconductors and compound semiconductors. Examples for elemental semiconductors are silicon and germanium. Compound semiconductors are again classified into inorganic, organic, and organic polymers. Examples for inorganic semiconductors are gallium arsenide, cadmium sulfide, gallium arsenide phosphide, etc. For organic semiconductors, anthracene and doped phthalocyanines. For organic polymers, examples are polypyrrole, polyaniline, polythiophene, etc. So this is the energy level diagram for conductors, semiconductors and insulators. So either overlapping or Eg approximately equivalent to 0 is the condition for conductors, and Eg greater than 3 electron volt is the condition for insulators, and Eg less than 3 electron volt is the condition for semiconductors. Note that electron energies are going higher as we move along the y-axis. Now, semiconductors are divided into elemental and also compound semiconductors. Again, there is a classification called intrinsic semiconductor and extrinsic semiconductor. Mainly, elemental semiconductors are divided into these categories. Intrinsic semiconductor is any conductor, that is any semiconductor in its purest form, while extrinsic semiconductor is a semiconductor got by adding impurities into it. Extrinsic semiconductor can be again classified into two on the basis of the impurities added to them. They are N-type semiconductors and P-type semiconductors. An N-type semiconductor is got by adding a pentavalent impurity such as phosphorus, arsenic, etc. and the impurity is known as donor impurity. In the case of P-type semiconductors, trivalent impurities will be added like gallium, boron, etc., which is known as a donor impurity. In the case of N-type semiconductors, Ne very much greater than NH, and in the case of P-type semiconductors, NH very much greater than Ne. Here Ne represents the number of electrons and NH represents the number of holes, which are nothing but positive charges which are equivalent and opposite to that of an electron. So let us differentiate between intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductors on the basis of certain factors. Intrinsic semiconductors are pure, whereas extrinsic semiconductors are impure. In intrinsic semiconductors, density of electrons is equivalent to density of holes, whereas in extrinsic semiconductor, density of electrons is not equal to the density of holes. The electrical conductivity is low for intrinsic semiconductor, whereas it is high for extrinsic semiconductor. Intrinsic semiconductor has got temperature dependence, whereas extrinsic semiconductor depends on temperature as well as on the amount of impurity. Intrinsic semiconductor, no impurities are added, whereas in extrinsic semiconductor, either trivalent impurity or pentavalent impurity is added. Now let us discuss about N-type and P-type semiconductors. N-type semiconductor is an extrinsic semiconductor which is obtained by doping the impurity pentavalent impurity atoms such as antimony, phosphorus, arsenic, etc. to the pure germanium or silicon semiconductor. Doping is the method of adding impurity to a semiconductor. The impurity atoms added provide extra electrons in the structure and are called donor atoms. The electrons are the majority carriers and holes are the minority carriers in N-type semiconductor. Now coming to P-type semiconductor, it is an extrinsic semiconductor which is obtained by doping trivalent impurity atoms such as boron, gallium, etc. to the pure germanium or silicon semiconductor. The impurity atoms added create vacancies of electrons called holes in the structure and are called acceptor atoms. In P-type semiconductors, holes are the majority carriers and electrons are the minority carriers. The energy band diagram for an intrinsic semiconductor at T is equivalent to 0 Kelvin and T greater than 0 Kelvin is as shown in the figure. At T equivalent to 0 Kelvin, all the electrons will be in the valence band and the conduction band will be empty. At T greater than 0 Kelvin, a few of the electrons will get energy to shift from valence band to the conduction band. Now, the vacancies created in the valence band as a result of shifting of electrons to the conduction band can be called as a hole. A hole carries positive charge. Now, the electron band energy diagram for an N-type semiconductor at T greater than 0 Kelvin is as shown in the figure. Here, since we have more number of electrons, conduction band will not be empty. We will be having electrons in the conduction band, but there is an additional energy level marked as ED, which is the donor energy level. In the case of P-type semiconductors, we will be having an additional energy level called acceptor energy level, EA, which is at the top of the valence band. Remember that the donor energy level was at the bottom of the conduction band. Here, the valence band will be having more number of holes compared to the number of electrons. Hope you might have got an idea about the basic concepts of semiconductors and also the categorization of semiconductors. Thank you, dear students.